The GTX 750 Ti is one of the most beloved GPUs of all times. At launch, it offered around 40% of the performance of the then flagship, the GTX 780 Ti, for just $150. Put that into perspective. Firstly, sit down. Don't imagine that, actually sit down. And now imagine a modern $200 GPU with 24GB of VRAM, performing close to an RTX 5070. The 5070 costs twice as much and has less memory. So that's the kind of value the 750 Ti represented back then, Given today's pricing trends, even a $300 or $350 card with such specs would be a steal, But Nvidia's choices since then only make the 750 Ti look better in hindsight. Now let's see what this legendary card can still do in 2025. I tested the Zotac version, which doesn't require any external power connectors. It was paired with a Ryzen 7 2700 and 32GB of DDR4 RAM. All benchmarks were run at 1080p, though back then in 2015 many users gamed at lower resolutions like 900p or even 720p and below. Minecraft was a must test, and the game ran smoothly, averaging 180 FPS with a 1% loss of around 50. World of Tanks was tested using two quality presets, Maximum and High. Both were playable, though the former suits slower paced tanks like heavies or tank destroyers better. Counter-Strike 2 came close to 100 FPS on average, with 1% loss in the 60s, impressive for a title released a decade later. Metro 2033 Redux ran fine on medium settings. High is also viable if you're okay with less FPS, though there might be the occasional dip. Sid Meier's Civilization 6 remains popular even nowadays, and the 750 Ti on medium settings delivers over 40 FPS on average, with solid 1% lows. Total War Rome 2 exceeded 60 FPS on average at very high settings, and even pushed above 90 on high. Last but not least is Frostpunk, a personal favorite. On very high settings, it delivered a stable 25 FPS with 1% lows around 18. Lowering the settings is recommended for a smoother experience though. So, the GTX 750 Ti is surprisingly still quite a capable card. Of course, there are limitations. Some newer or more demanding titles won't run due to its limited VRAM or lack of ongoing support, but that's to be expected from a $150 GPU 10 years after its release. As you have noted, this video had some clips that were done with AI. This was just to test things. And don't worry, I won't be using AI text-to-speech. So, if you liked the video and would like to see more PC parts being tested, consider leaving a like, dropping a comment, or joining my Discord server. And I will see you all on the battlefields. Gaming teacher, out.